stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. John, if you would lead us in benediction, please, appreciate it.
God, we thank you for staying against us, and thank you for the rest of this year. We pray that you just continue to bless each one, and pray for those that are having health issues, lots of sickness going around, that you restore their health. And we pray to give us wisdom as we go through today's meeting. In your name, amen.
Amen.
All right. President Moore?
Here.
Kennedy is absent excused. Pelichek? Here. Swack is absent excused. Hawkins?
Here.
For the record, Clerk Selmack and Treasurer Kennedy are present. Okay.
So, can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the September 8th meeting, please?
Yep, I'd like to approve minutes of September 8th, 2025, as is. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. And can I get a motion on the special meeting of September 29th minutes, please?
Yep, I'd like to approve the minutes of September 29th, 2025, motion as presented.
Support? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Let's get into accounts. Can I, agenda approval, please?
Yep.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Yes, I'd like to approve the agenda on October 13th, 2025. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None, motion carries. Let's go into the treasurer's report, please.
I don't know what I'm saying. Well, just basically ask for a motion. She doesn't do anything. Yeah, you don't have to do anything. Trying to adjust for the
I have
being
been,
right.
but they got a little tough tonight upstairs.
I'd like to approve the September 2025 motion as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
How would I do a
You
roll
want
call
a roll
on
call on
that?
that
Yeah,
one?
do a roll call on that. Pelichek? Yes. Hawkins?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes. And
Motion carried.
motion is carried. So let's go into accounts payable.
Right.
It's general $10,877.31, and major $27,484.59, and local $200. And in mill park recreation $816. Is that correct? That's correct.
Is that motion going to make it?
Make a motion to.
You need to say all of that in your motion.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion to approve the accounts payable in general $10,877.31, major $27,484.59, local $200, mill park will be $860.
Second.
The roll call, please.
Hawkins?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Pelichek? Yes.
At this time, are there any public comments? I'm sorry, Dave, I said I had to move you down. We had some other stuff to take precedence. So you're still on the agenda, but I moved you down.
care when it happens.
Okay, let's move on to new business.
Did anybody have anything?
I didn't see anybody raise their hand.
Okay.
Do you want me to have something for you? It'll be the same old, same old.
All I had to do was on the part.
Don't make me have the big one.
So we need to do budget adjustments for the 2025 and 2026 budget. Motion to adopt, we need to read the motion to adopt the budget.
to approve just that. Alright, I'd like to approve the budget adjustments for 2025 to 2026. As is to adopt the 2025-26 budget adjustment to make the general fund budget $5,708 and $285.69. And major fund will be $369,070.25. Local fund $17,673.
Seconded. Can I have a roll call, please?
Moore,
Yes.
Pelichick. Yes. Pop.
Yes.
Motion carried.
So I have, next on the agenda, the forestry project financial advisor quotes. I have 3 quotes in line here, and I have talked to each individual involved in those quotes. And did you put them up? Did you get them quotes earlier in your okay. So you guys have had a chance to go over the quotes. There's 3 quotes, one from Benzinski and one from FLI Mutual Funds, but it's a fiduciary company. But as I go through, which means if they don't get us to a bond, we don't own anything. However, if I look in the other ones, if I look in Benzinski and Chapman, there are a lot of consulting freebies in there to get started with. So while we'll probably owe money in, it won't get us, until he gets us there, we won't owe a penny. They're the same, but they're not a fiduciary company. Mark Tilly, if you look at them, they were the high quote. They're up around $9,500 to $1,200. So I don't have the figure right now. While Andy Chapman told me generally start about $7,500, and that's what I got from the fiduciary company also, that $7,500 figure. You know, it's a floating figure because it's not an exact science because they've got to go through everything. We have all our records and everything to find out. It's a lot of work. So I wouldn't think that Tilly is that far out of where it could end up being. I think maybe misrepresented himself a little bit. I just wanted a starting figure because I knew this would flow as time went on, depending on how much work they had to do to get us to a bond. So I wouldn't use that as a deterring factor. So Benzinski, we have used them in the past, and they've been good for us. And they're very interested, and they want to come back here, so that I can give them that recommendation that we've already vetted, that we've already used them, they did well for us, so. We need to look at one of these 3. I'm not opposed to Benzinski again, nor am I opposed to MFCI. Then they also gave us, they also added some information, NCFI, they also added some information about bond counsel firms and stuff that we're going to have to get into a little bit later. But we need to do this to get these people, we need to get one of these people hired and get moving on this project before we spend too much money in engineering. We can't recoup any of that cost. The quicker they get started, the quicker we know where we stand, whether or not we can even get the bond issued for this. And without that, we're not going to be able to do it. It's just back to where we're at.
So are you looking for a motion for council to authorize you to hire?
Yes.
As far as your recommendation, you were leaning more towards Benzinski.
Well, you can consider it kind of better because we've used them before and it was successful. That's all I know about. And that he had, in his quote, were a lot of things that they would do and they would not charge for. Which is, that's the only difference I see between him and FCI. I think we'd be happy with either one. But Baker Tilly, we're paying them $100. So that's another difference. Andy Campbell was not with Baker, excuse me. Benzinski at the time was with Baker Tilly. He has now left Baker Tilly and he's working for Benzinski, which is a plus because we used him before as a financial advisor when he was at Baker Tilly. So he has moved on, but pretty nice guy. I had a long talk with him. Very nice, very detailed.
Okay, so right now we're looking for a motion, if anybody wants to make one, to have the village president enter into a contract with a financial advisor firm. Would anybody like to make that motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make the motion to let the president continue with Benzinski or Go. Do you want the other company in there just in case you decide to switch or just
Or you could just have him enter into a contract
Or
and
just
see
if you-
if figures it out.
authorize them to enter into the contract?
At this point, I don't know, are these figures, are they firm, Bill, or are they, is it kind of flexible?
They're not real firm because of the amount of, they don't know how much work they have to do.
Okay, so
Going through our
basically,
files and compiling everything and then being able to get us to a bond.
we're just kind of trusting you based on your judgment from all the work that you've done. Right now, doing research and working with these is feeling comfortable with them for us to have you make that judgment call then?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
most comfortable with either one of these. And like I say, this one is a fiduciary company, so they don't always do it. But this one's, I said, well, we generally we don't charge people for what we can't provide.
Okay.
So either one of these two, to me, is the way we should go. And I think we could work with either one. Who has a leg up is probably Benzinski because they're interested and they've already worked with us once before.
Okay, so, right, then.
Benzinski?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
is that what we're gonna say? To,
Did you make the motion already?
Yeah, I think
Now we're
we-
talking.
would you mind
Yeah.
doing it again, just so that way I can make sure that I've got my stuff straight?
Yep.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion for President Moore to continue considering Belzinski and Co. For the firm.
Thank you.
Did you second that?
And I'll do roll call on that.
Yeah, roll call, please.
Pelichick? Yes. Hawkins?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes. Okay. Now, the treasurer's resolution. Oh, yeah.
Oh, under the note, I think I can put it on the, or you maybe didn't grab it.
If you want me to speak on that, I will, just because, since I wrote the resolution. Do you want me to?
Sure.
Okay, I know that that was a last minute addition. I don't like to do that to you.
It's fine.
So, well, just do what we can, right?
Yeah.
So, this is our new treasurer, Katie Kennedy. And, in the process of the changeover in office from the, previous treasurer to the new one, there's a little bit of business that has to be taken care of, and that has to do with like bank accounts. We have accounts with Oxford Bank and Fifth Third, and also other things with IRS, State of Michigan. And so basically, I could read the whole thing line by line if you guys want me to, but if not, the essence of it is just saying that we are asking, just as an official resolution, that village council would approve that the old treasurer is taken off of those accounts, the new treasurer is put on them, and then any other items that would need a signatory or official account authorization would go to Katie Kennedy. So that's it. So we just need a motion to somebody to adopt the resolution, and we're good to go.
Yep. I'd like to make a motion to adopt a resolution appointing the village treasurer and authorizing signatures for all official village financial accounts.
Have a roll call, vote, please.
Hold on a second. Get fast. You know, I'm working really hard when that happens. Okay.
No, this job is dangerous.
Roll call, let's see here. Moore,
Yes.
Belichick, Hawkins.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, on to number 4, new business. Major street account road project category. We need to create a new account in our budget for this paving project. So I'll read this off to you while I got here. Need to create a new account in the major street account for the 27-28 road project for the engineering cost of $281,397. This brings the new budget amount to $396,025.
So we're looking for a line item. Is that basically what it is, to be added to the,
To the budget. yeah.
to the budget? A line item added to the budget. In the major street fund.
When we're ready, John, can I get a motion to adopt this?
I don't think I had it. Was it?
It's yours.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you got it?
I got it. All right, I will make a motion to create a new account, a major street account for 2027 to 2028 road project with engineering costs of $281,397. This brings the new budget amount to $369,025.
Do you have that?
Hold on 1 second. Got it. I just wanted to write down the number, but I only had to figure I can add it later. Okay, so that was Hawkins and Belichick. We'll do a roll call on that?
Yes.
Belichick? Yes. Hawkins?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. On to number 5. Dave, you are number 5. You have 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm number 5, okay. I've got a mystery that I can't solve. That's to do with this building and 3 others on this property. Anyway, where's Leonard at? Is that
Oh, I
blue?
was gonna ask you.
I think it's blue. The village of Leonard isn't that big. It's just these 4 buildings here, and then all the houses by the, that are hooked to the post office. That's the village of Leonard. At some point, this property for this building used to be 162 feet. Now it's down to 99. I don't know where it went, but I got a suspicion that in the 1800s through maybe 1900, logs were brought through from the west side. And I'm gonna imagine that the ladies in town did not want logs going downtown, so they picked the best spot was this little path right through here that would cut up to the sawmill. I don't know if it's true. It might be in the minutes someplace. I can't figure it out. I've looked, I went to the county. We have a lot of pieces at 44 feet disappeared all the way to the sawmill. So I guess that was where they took the logs. But then a lot of that property came back. But these 4 didn't come back to the original owners. And now we have an alley, and that 44 feet ended up being part of Janet's property now at some point. I don't know when that was, but Janet now, and she has all 44, all 4 pieces had 44 feet, and they're all back on her property. I don't know what happened, but we have a crisis here right in this building. We don't have an acceptable septic field, and I don't see how we can ever get one if we don't get. We should get rid of the alley. That would give us 20 more feet, but then our cable company decided to take the cables from the pole, drop them into the ground. So now we have a new problem. How are we going to do that? I looked it up, and there are circumstances that we can put a septic field on top of those cables, depending on which cables they are and how well they're sealed. I don't know how they are, but I'm just bringing this up. We can't have parties here. We can't do anything here but this meeting. This is pathetic. I have a picture of our fire chief and my daughter under the table at one of those parties. We don't have those anymore. We can't. Something went wrong, and I can't even get to the bottom of it because I don't know what went on. I spent an hour and a half at the Register of Deeds in Pontiac, or wherever they are. Got a friend there, and she spent an hour and a half researching all the properties just down this area here. There's much that went on. I haven't gotten to the point of actually reading all of that, but I may. I don't know. I've got a map from 1884 that you can't read. Well, you can read. If you want a picture of it, you might be able to read it, but I can't copy it. It just doesn't show up. But if you're interested, that shows the 164 feet that originally was there. And that's the mystery to me. I don't know how to solve it. So what I make a proposal here is I'm willing to, we don't have any place to gather, nothing. This is done. We can't gather here. So I decided to take my property at Beza and Forest, and if the village wants it, we can turn it into a little restaurant. And I would definitely want it to look like an 1800s train station. That is my goal. I've got some that I think are pretty cool. I got one that I really like. It's well, I'll show you. I got a layout of the soil.
Are we talking about the hill in town, or did you move on to?
I moved on. I'm down there.
Okay.
We're done with this. I just thought I'd bring it up, and you guys figure out what to do with it, because I don't know.
Okay, just the microphone. I can talk pretty loud, I'm told, so if you can tell me.
Let me get you all
Who's gonna
some
sound?
Anyway, I have two styles of soil. One is good soil and one isn't all that good soil. So, my suggestion is, I've got over an acre there. The green or blue, whatever that is, that's acceptable soil for a septic field. I could do like 3 or 4 septic fields on that property. The other part is K-Pack, sandy loam, like most of the villages. That can be drained to put a building and parking on. And I got a picture there, it shows what it would look like, possibly. I don't know, people's input on that. I apparently don't have that talent, according to my wife.
Is that property zoned residential?
It's residential.
Okay.
It would have to be changed. But here's the thing, and we don't do this much. Rochester Road and Elmwood are commercial roads. They are. That's where commercial growth is. That's where it is. It can't be on any other streets, not without a change of law. So when people say they don't want it there, and I'm sure they are, I will challenge that. So if you don't want it there, that's fine, I'll challenge it. If you want it there, you must work peacefully to put it there. Are the neighbors gonna be upset? Oh, maybe. Why did they move next to a main road? Or they can hear it from the main road. If they wanted it quiet and peacefully, they should have went up on the hill here where we have the HOA. I think you do. And if you do, then you can control that stuff. But you can't control it on a main road. I'm sorry, but that will not take place.
You know, Dave, just, you know, I think maybe your first step, and please correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the audience or on council, might be to apply for a zoning variance.
Yeah.
Because what you're asking for is a pretty big ask. Like,
Oh,
you
I
know, a
know.
lot of times when it comes to
I know,
zoning,
that's why I brought it here tonight.
if it's dimensional, you know, sometimes if it's a small thing, it can be done. But when you start changing that kind of zoning, it's extremely rare that something like that would happen. But I would say if you're really interested, I think that's gonna be your next step. And if you want to go upstairs, you could get a site plan, you know, set up that you want a site plan review and that you want a zoning variance
Yeah.
request.
Yeah.
And that would be a place to start.
Oh, I know, that's why I came here.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's the only reason.
Yeah,
Just
just-
to get it out there.
That's just,
Uh,
I think that's step one for us.
We don't have a place to gather in this town, it just isn't right. I don't know of any community like this. I don't. It's bad.
Yeah.
This building doesn't have a septic field. It's bad. Let's get our land back and get a septic field. That's what I have to say. And, I'm going for it. And if we gotta go to court, that's what we'll do.
Okay, well,
Thanks, Dave.
we can definitely, we do appreciate the input, we appreciate the time. Appreciate your time and input, Dave, we really do.
Yeah.
So just if you want to, I'll make sure before I leave tonight, I have those items set for you aside. If you want to come up and get the variance request and the site plan request started, I can at least get you that paperwork,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
So that way if you come up to the office tomorrow or one day this week,
That'll
you can
work.
pick that up?
I will do that.
All right, awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
I need this available to the two missing trustees as we move along, consider all this.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're aware of it when, Jennifer will be back this week, but, Alex won't be back till next week.
Absolutely.
So,
Is that something that the public could have an input on at some point, a meeting?
Oh,
for them?
yes, the public has
Okay.
input on that. Yes, Mike?
Thank you. I'd like to address some of the points just regarding the alley abandonment proposal that you just heard. Peter Brewer was the original farmer that platted this northeast portion of Leonard, now known as Leonard, with the lots and all of the parcels that are laid out in it. And they were originally sold as those parcels. And as Mr. Rathburn mentioned, things changed. They changed because property owners filed and received deeds for their properties, and in the process of doing that, easements were granted to the village for right-of-ways, and not just this one, but we have a couple more instances of the same. And so this all happened in the period between 1889 and 1906. And while those records may not be readily available to Mr. Rathburn, they are readily available at the county clerks, if a proper search is performed. Now that being said, I've looked at the deeds for the parcels on the alley on both sides. They are all legitimate deeds. They're all recorded properly, and they all show the creation or the exclusion of the land that was formerly part of the lot number that were combined to make the parcels that we see today. So that's no mystery. If you look in any village or any community, you're going to see wherever there was a plat performed, if the parcels are changed, combined, they receive a different parcel number, and the deed is what controls. And as long as they're properly filed, which these are. Furthermore, the property owners abutting any adjacent parcel or any abandoned parcel are all entitled to half of the frontage in front of, that their parcel is next to. So abandoning a 20-foot parcel or 20-foot wide lane is only going to produce a 10 by 50-foot parcel for Mr. Rathberg's purposes. You cannot, unless you plan on condemnation, take land from a private individual. So there is no getting back for the owners what they used to own. If the village does that, it'll be an uphill fight, and you'll have to prove that it was worth it. And frankly, I like access to the alley, which I still have. I think the village of Leonard benefits from access because it owns 2 buildings here that have, over time, you need access front and rear. And we only have, frankly, 2 parcel owners that think it's a great thing to abandon the alley. And why do they want to abandon it? It's for their own benefit. The village of Leonard, like many other lots in the village, is a substandard lot. It does have a septic tank and a field. They don't work well, so the village pumps the tank 4 times a year, which other structures along here do or should do. And that's how you keep things going. You keep things in repair, you maintain them, and it is what it is. It's not the village's responsibility to provide land or services because somebody wants it if it's not to the benefit of all the people. I respectfully argue that this hall is not useful and that it doesn't serve a purpose in the community. It's for all official meetings. There have been a number of Pollyant Trail meets here, NODA meets here, not under the new schedule because of the new facility, but the point is that it is a central point and it does serve. We did look into getting a generator for it so that in the winter or summer, if there's a need for a community gathering place, that it would be available for that as well, which it still is. So I think that, and I don't want to abuse my 5 minutes, but I'd like to see the alley remain the way it is and ask your support for that.
I'd like to comment on
Thank you, Mike.
that. I don't have a problem with
Does
that.
anybody else want to speak before he gets another turn?
Nothing at this point. Go ahead, Dave.
I don't have a problem with any of that. What really irritates me is they dropped the cable down there. So there's no chance of ever using it the way it was intended. I believe it's an alley, isn't it? Is it called an alley? It doesn't meet the definition of an alley, so I don't know what it is.
It has a separate parcel number
It does.
credited to the village, so.
It's owned by the
So
village.
we should be able to find it, but it might be down in Oakland County
Yeah.
records.
Yeah, I was going there. But I'm not opposed to any of that. It's just, it's frustrating to me to see that we gave up property that we could have put a little septic field on. Luckily, I have one. I have a septic field on my property. So I don't know if Dave has one down there or not. I have no idea. But,
I think they had a restroom in that facility. I think they probably did. I think they used water.
I don't know. But it seems like it's something we should, I don't know. I just don't know what to do about it.
Okay,
All right, well, we can,
can I move forward now?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Let's go on to number 6, Clark Train. So, about a week or so ago, I got a dig ticket and from an excavating company, and it mapped out the entire Clark drain system. And I said, holy cow, what's this about? And all it said was sewer. So I called the excavating company. I call these companies when I get the dig tickets before I approve them, just to get a complete picture of what they're gonna do. So this is a 2-year project that I didn't know about. And when I called Water Resources Commission, generally they don't call me back. But they called me back in about 5 minutes, and I said, Dad, this is not good. So this is a 2-year project. They have the money to do it. So they're lining up excavators to come in and repair that whole drain line on the west side of town. Then he said the word that nobody likes to hear, assessment. So this is outside our control. This is their drain system. We can't do anything with that, but we're just gonna have, the people are just gonna have to eat the cost. That's how they're gonna come in and do this. Over and above the money they have allocated for it now, and above what we paid in tax dollars for maintenance of the system. So that is brand new. I didn't know anything about that. But right behind that, so I'm gonna move on to old business. That's the Clark train, so it's in your head. But it's not probably gonna be something we want to deal with, but we're gonna have to. Nature Park. Cindy, this is for you.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to read this communique I just got from John yesterday. Based on my prior review of the drawings and legal descriptions you sent over, we should be good to go. I just need to do a final review of the previously drafted purchase agreement since it was done last in February when I drafted the agreement. That's it. So that's where he's at. Working on it.
So another 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Hey,
How
I'm
about I don't say anything more and I just yell across the street, surprise.
Probably work out.
That might be better. So let's go on to the mill park. Currently, I am reviewing the mill DNR agreement to be able to provide you with some brief discussion points in advance of your meeting next week. I have a meeting this week, Wednesday, with DNR here, and then we'll be out on the grounds. I don't know a lot about this, so John is sending me all the data he has on the agreement and everything that was done, so I'm more up to what questions I can ask her about. It seems to be very restrictive, our use of that property and that building, to the point where we own the building and the grounds, but we almost can't do anything with it. I don't quite understand that, but the DNR seems to be the owners
Are
of
you
the building.
talking the elevator?
Yes.
Okay.
If I can't get around this, and it specifically says you can't do ticket sales and stuff like that on there, it's for recreational, which is part of the way this entrepreneur has come here and makes his money. That's part of the whole thing here, that he's allowed to make some money off this. We're not
Oh,
allowed.
I understand.
And that would be able to finally show this will be vital to the downtown area. If we show that, we'll get more funding to actually be able to restore. The whole thing is to be able to restore the grain mill going forward for us. So we don't want you to just fall apart. But we put a lot of money into it now, and I hate to stop there, and we just don't get a lot of funding. This goes a long way to that. So in my talks with Oakland County, I talked to Oakland County supervisor about this. He said if need be, they'd be willing to go with this to state representatives. If we can't get anywhere, we'll put it with the DNR and see if our state senators and stuff can do anything about some way of opening this up to make it useful to the community. So whether or not they're going to do that remains to be seen. That's where we are in the mill. If I can't get this turned around, that mill's going to stop right where it is. We're not going to get to the point everybody wanted to get to. I'm sorry to say that because I don't like it either. So let's go on to number 3, the 2023-2024 audit progress. we're due in 2 weeks to have that done, so for us to pull it now and try to start over and give it to somebody else, it's just not feasible. It would just cost too much money and too much more time.
You're saying he'll be done in 2 weeks?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's good news.
On a handshake. Not in written, in writing.
It's something.
It's, yeah, better than I've gotten out of before.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Forest Street update, 4285 Forest Street update. So, what's happening here is now we're going to go through the process again because they have another attorney. Kaja Holdings went bankrupt. And I found out that they were going to abandon this building out here and just walk away from us. But now and because of bankruptcy protections, we couldn't do anything with it. We couldn't make them do anything with it. And the thing is falling in, now there's windows missing. The door was kicked open again. The people next door, I had to hire a trapper to come in and trap all the vermin coming across from that building. So there's raccoons and who knows what else in there. And they didn't do the job they were supposed to do when they came out and cut the grass. They only cut along the road. They didn't cut the rest of it, so it's all overgrown. And there's trash in that overgrown areas. I went back there and took a look and I said, oh, gee, there's trash everywhere back there. So it's becoming a real bad situation for the neighbors and for us.
It's gonna end
So,
up hurting
what-
somebody, so it's gonna happen.
So if you see anything going on, email any complaints, anything going on to the office. Then I can take that email as a document and send it to John to put heat on these people because they have changed their mind now that they've gone through this bankruptcy, got these new lawyers. Now they're trying to pull out of the bankruptcy and not have it. They're trying to change it. I don't know how successful it's going to be. But, so it's just going to go on and on and on because they're not going to do anything with it. It took all summer for me to get somebody out here just to cut grass, for God's sakes. So that's where I have in the update. So if there's anything at all you see going on over there, just email the village, please, and just so I can send it on to the lawyer, anything at all. So he wants to now put the heat on them now, to try to make him do something. So, let's go on to number 5. Leonard Drain. On the back of Clark's Drain, when Water Resources called me, they started talking about Leonard Drain. I said, oh God, I wasn't even thinking about that for a while. So Leonard Drain is done, they have all the surveying done, they know what they're gonna do, they're now calling excavators for that drain system too, but they don't have the money to do Leonard Drain. So, that's
Is that
good.
behind us, or across the street from us?
Yeah.
Behind us.
Yeah. So they're,
Well, the shop.
this is on both of these drains is very preliminary, I don't have any cost structures, they don't have any cost structures yet, it's gonna be a while. But they're committed to Clark Drain first, they're not committed to Leonard Drain right now. That's it. One more thing I have is we have to, so in your packet is, and I told you before, once we sign this, that there's nothing new. This is the air departmental NOTA agreement. Again, you have both copies in here, the original copy and the one that's been changed. On the second step, the one that's been changed is in the back. Until this final draft is done of the whole NOTA agreement, I think we're gonna have to visit this every once in a while when we're staging. Yeah, this is the old agreement. In the back is the new agreement. The amended agreement that we have to approve tonight. Yes, Mike?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm doing it in a kind of a semi-official capacity because I'm the chair of NOTA. Bill, they're making another modification to the agreement. It's relatively minor. So if the council would indulge you and give you authority to sign the agreement subject to the village attorney making sure everything's good. Yeah, I would wait, don't sign that one.
Wait for the
Wait
next
for the
amendment
next
that comes through?
Which you'll probably see this Thursday at our meeting.
Okay. So,
Apologies for the.
no, that's fine. I'm glad you said that. We're not gonna do that tonight because there's another amendment coming right on the back of this anyway.
But we are going to ask for a motion
Authority from
to allow you to sign the amended one.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to have President Moore sign the amendment document after legal has viewed. You run this down legal, right?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Motion carries. Thank you for that, Mr. Chairman.
We all have to hear it.
Trying to avoid duplicate work.
Okay, DPW update. Now, we've got a pretty good hydraulic leak in the truck. I'd like to get that fixed before, and I don't know if I can get parts for it, we can do it ourselves, or I need to bring the mechanic down. I don't like to bring the mechanic down to get that cost down. When I think when we did the brakes, it was $750, and we bought the parts before he just came and installed them. So for him to come here and do that, that's what he charged for about 3-4 hours work. So it's a little stiff, but
Do we have a DPW?
yeah, you have me and Andy.
Huh?
Yes, you have me and you have Andy.
Is
Andy's up.
Andy official?
Andy is up temporarily because we have to put it out for, because it's an hourly thing, we have to put it out for hire. So he's up temporarily until we can go through that hiring process.
How long is that gonna take?
Well, it's challenging.
So you or him
because-
are gonna be plowing the roads, or they're not gonna get plowed, is that what you're saying? In the winter.
So it's sort of maybe sort of could
Could
be,
they do any worse than I did? Well, Cindy,
I will try to not hit you.
Yes.
I will try to not hit your mailbox, and since I got my eyes fixed, without the glasses, I do pretty good. So, passed my driver's
You know what
test.
happens?
I passed my driver's test
You
before
know what happens?
I got my eyes done. I said,
Donnie had it down pat. He did not go super fast and blow all the rocks onto the properties.
I have warned my son to go slow.
Has he done anything about it?
Has he done plowing?
Yeah,
He's done
has he
plowing
done-
in the past, yeah, but it was like parking lots and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All right. So it's just the cost of doing business to hire a mechanic come in and fix the truck if I have to, just to let you know. Okay.
When we talked to Brad, I don't know if he does
Uh,
hydraulics and stuff.
Not just yet, so I gotta take a look at it. Thanks for the offer though. The Freedom of Information Act, I do have one. It's from a company in Colorado. And they're asking for all our records on our insurances. And I think we have an answer to that. We have a sheet we're gonna send in, but we haven't done it yet. So we're gonna have to get into that this week,
Sounds good.
preferably tomorrow, because this is old. This came in on the 26th of September. So I don't know how it got lost in our emails, but it did for a while. Okay. Black Grant reports. There's no ordinance enforcement at this point in time, so let's go on to the trustee and committee reports. We don't have the summer festival committee anymore. At this point in time, I got a letter from 2 people willing to sit on the committee, but there is no committee, and I don't think they understand how much effort it takes to even get that going. It would be too late to do anything now for next summer anyway. Jenna, would you like to give us a report on cable commission?
Here's no report because we do bi-monthly now, so our meeting will be in this month.
Sounds good. Decorating committee,
We're good.
we're good?
Halloween decorations look great.
They do.
Looks
They look
really
nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, She caught me outside, the flowers were drying. I said, oh man, I gotta water these flowers. I came out with the water stuff. She said, oh, I let them dry up now.
Try to let it die.
I said, yeah, these poor flowers.
Get your little gallon container. What's it gonna go?
I was be a lot of gallons. Yeah. I was gonna do each plant individually, make sure they got the same drink.
You'd still be doing it.
So, you know, there's a meeting on North Oakland Transportation Authority here coming up this week yet, and we just heard from Mike, so there's an amendment we'll be dealing with on that, so, but I don't really have anything more to say right now about that at this point in time.
Are they meeting Thursday?
Yes.
Thursday.
Gotcha. Okay.
Wednesday is Pollyanna Trail.
Okay.
So, do we have any news from the Planning Commission?
We had a zoning board of appeals meeting, since Jennifer isn't here and she's our person that usually reports, I guess I'll just share. There's a request for a dimensional variance, which was denied by the planning commission. The last meeting, that's pretty much, or by the zoning board of appeals. Yes?
Okay, thank you.
No?
So, yeah, yes, Mike?
So there's been a filing for a ZBA meeting?
We had a zoning board of appeals meeting last month. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it was,
Oh, so it's been heard?
yeah, so it was
Yeah.
published in the paper, letters were sent to the neighbors,
Okay.
regarding it, and then what we did is, we actually had a training session prior to that, and we consulted with our consultant planner, Caitlin Haben, just to kind of get some input and to kind of help all of us on the planning commission, just, since it's not something we do very often, just go over what the standards are that we're looking for when we get variance requests and how we deal with them.
Thank you.
So, and then a follow-up letter, letting them know what the appeal process was mailed. So everything, all the little boxes have been checked, and that's where we're at with that.
Thank you. Okay, okay. On to Pollyanna Trail Management Council. We have a meeting this Wednesday at 3 o'clock down at the Edison Township offices. That is right, right after the meeting I'm having with the A&R, so on Wednesday. So that, we'll have news from that. Although I am compiling all our hours and everything for our community service credits to go to them, because it's time for budget for trail. So I need to get that to her. I don't have it quite done yet, so. Is she back yet? Do you know, I haven't seen her. Is she back? Okay, now she'll be yelling at me for it. Okay. All right, that's all I can say about the trail management council at this point in time. So Village Park, we hung a new sign out there.
Nice.
Of course, you don't have a lot going on in your life when
It
you get
looks
excited about
beautiful.
that new
It's
sign.
wonderful. I like it.
You know, when you get excited, I mean, it does look nice. It's up, I had ordered some new spacers for it so that it hangs correctly. The stringers have to be at an angle and it's straight right now, so but I got those and I'm gonna be out there tweaking it this week yet. As long as the weather holds. Well, that's not gonna hold
I
tomorrow.
haven't heard anything about a fence. And that took place with Mike,
What's that?
the fence. Remember us talking the fence?
Yeah, it's in the plans, and it's just we haven't started the plans.
It's there. We haven't been able to get that far back yet.
What they're doing, Cindy, is trying to meet the requests from the personal representative of the estate, so that there's some recognition for who donated the money before they start doing everything. But, you know, this is one that takes time.
Well, I understand that. The problem is, now they're mowing back in there. It's only a matter of time before they're at our property, either antagonizing our horse, or worse, falling in the pond.
We know a fence has to go up. We know that.
I understand that.
It's not like it's not gonna go up.
I don't know, it's been a long time now.
Actually, I took this past week with Doug, and I met Doug Newliker up there, and I was able to get in the back part of the property to look around. It was the first time I've been able to get back there. It's so dry right now, you can do that.
Why don't you ask me to come across our property?
Pardon me?
You could come across our property down back there.
Actually, I was dealing with the sign, and he said, I'm going out there to look around. I said, well, I'll go out there, I'll meet you out there. So I stopped happening.
It needs to rain like mad again. Keep you people out of there.
We did get that number 8, the last thing on the list, and that we did get a request for block grant funds from the resident
I was,
last week.
actually, she hasn't submitted the application yet, but she came in asking for an application.
Well, she did.
Yeah, so,
Well, she has that.
once that happens, then, I review it for, the finance part of it, and then see if we have anything available that's left in minor home repair. So she just has to be vetted first.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any correspondence at this point in time, so we're going to go right into it, so I can adjourn the meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to close the meeting at 7:07.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.
Yay.